Cease the quacking!
Today's video is sponsored by the Ridge Wallet.
How's it going there, Jemima? You doing good? Going back in? All right. I kind of don't blame them. It's a cold one today. Look at those ducks running around. And speaking of ducks running, here's the runner ducks. They're all doing pretty good. There's our drake. We need to name him. I don't know if anybody has any ideas for our running drake. The best name I have so far is Usain Bolt. Because, you know, he's a runner. But I don't know if anybody else has any better ideas. I'd be totally open to it. Oh boy, everybody gets their water. So we raise quite a bit of poultry here on our farm. Ducks, geese, chickens. And particularly for the ducks and chickens, they lay a lot of eggs. And a lot of those eggs end up turning into eating eggs. Whether they're eggs that my wife and I eat, or eggs that we give to friends and family, or even eggs that we might sell to some folks locally here in our community. Between the ducks and chickens, we've got about 35, 40 laying birds, which is a fair amount of number of birds, which makes for a fair number of eggs. Hey, what are you doing up there, Jeannie Barn Cat? How are you doing this morning, sweetie? You're on the catwalk? Yeah, the catwalk.
I shake my little touch on the catwalk.
Rise and grind, chickens. You can see our Rhode Island Reds are starting to go through their molt as well. She went through it all the way. She's like in the mid stage of it. When they're going through their molt, it means that they lose their feathers and they stop laying eggs. And actually, because we have a lot of egg-laying birds, a lot of them are stopping laying their eggs right now too, because when the daylight starts to shrink and the weather gets colder, the birds' bodies, whether it be a duck or a chicken, they need to rest. And so they don't lay as many eggs right now. But we still are getting plenty of eggs. Good morning, weird chickens. I got a couple of eggs from the weird chickens. And actually, it looks like both of them cracked. It was 10 degrees last night. So we're definitely getting into the heart of winter temperatures. And that means the eggs freeze. But the other thing that happens with the eggs is you'll notice that they get covered in poop and straw and debris. And it's been one of the things that I've often struggled with in terms of what do I do about that? How do I clean my eggs? We'll put these right here because they'll be a part of Toby's breakfast. But that can be kind of laborious. And in recent years, I've also tried to make some inventions which would let me try to also wash them. What's going on, ducks? You can stay in here. I was just checking to see if anybody laid any eggs in here. And so that's an option too. Oop. Couple duck eggs. Oh wait, look at this. The ducks are very disappointed with the fact that their pond is all frozen over. I wonder if it's actually safe enough for me to stand on. I'll say that's a no. Toby, I wouldn't go on this pond, just for the record. I just barely put a step on it and it cracked. So you gotta be careful, okay, buddy? Don't want you getting soaked. Oh, you like those eggs too? You're curious about them? Toby's such a well-behaved dog. Even though I feed him eggs, he seems to know that only the eggs that end up in his bowl are fit for puppy consumption. And now this dilemma of not having a good way to wash eggs has been always a challenge for me to grapple with. But just the other day, I actually saw somebody do a review on an egg washer made by a guy who's actually based right here in Vermont. I don't know, it almost reminds me of like a golf ball washer, if anything. And so I checked it out, I read the reviews, and I decided to plunk down some of my hard-earned YouTube cash, and I ordered one of these egg washer units, and it just showed up in the mail yesterday. And yeah, in case you guys are wondering, the way it works is as I make videos like this, whether they're on YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or wherever, I usually get a little bit of money from the ads that run around the videos. I'm taking the money that I make from the ads on the videos to actually buy more stuff for the farm. So in case you've ever wondered if you're wasting your life watching farm videos, you're actually helping a small farm here in northern Vermont, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. But anyway, I took my own money and bought this little egg washer. It just showed up, and hey, what are you doing up there, girl? Who says chickens can't fly? And in today's video, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go test out this egg washer and see how well it works. And if it does, it might be a very convenient way for me to wash my future eggs. It might actually have me thinking about scaling up my egg operation a little bit if it's not too labor intensive. But before I go to collect the eggs and wash the eggs, I did want to go check on my friends, the cattle. You excited to go visit the cows? Oh dear, looks like we got a little issue here. Life with the cattle has been awesome so far. Got a little hiccups here and there in the beginning, but so far things evened out until I guess today. Scoping something out, picking up a scent over there. I think it's the bobcat, something else, coyotes? What is it? Good morning, Ariel. What you doing over here? That way I don't get shocked. Ariel, all the other cattle are down there. You're over here. It's actually been almost a month since I've had my last cow escape. And I guess today we just had another one. Ariel, are you coming with us? We keep our cattle penned in with this poly rope substance that you see here. And for whatever reason, Ariel seemed to bust loose last night. She was out here when I checked on him around 5 o'clock, but nope, something happened last night that let her through. Meanwhile, my other 4 cows, or my other 4 bovines, are doing good. How's it going, everybody? Bet you guys are gonna wanna all cheat and get some of that fresh pasture that Ariel just snagged ahead of you. There you go, come on through. The area that they're moving into right now is probably twice the size of what they usually get on a daily basis, but I'm having so much problems with the water right now. I don't feel like trying to break this up, and I want to give them access to the water, so I'm just going to open this area up and leave them here for the next 2 days. Very soon, I'm going to need to move them down and into the barn. It's not the cold that bothers them. They seem actually very content and very happy. And they still have plenty of forage to eat. The biggest issue is just the fact that the water is too hard to get out to them. Marking your territory in the leftovers, kid. Definitely gonna have to run out more water to them. Let's go, Tobes. Gotta go collect eggs and wash eggs. Oh no. Did you look at that? Was that the chickens or was that Ginny Barn Cat? Did you knock that over? I think you might have. So I put those 2 duck eggs from earlier in the basket and set it aside. And I'm pretty sure Ginny knocked over the basket. Now I have smashed eggs here. You are an adorable barn cat, but you are also a naughty barn cat, just for the record. I love you, but seriously, girl.
You blew it.
All right, Jenny, let's see what else we got for eggs. Fresh egg, but it's gross. Another good one. Got a couple over here. Grab these. Probably due for more shavings and straw. So we're gonna go inside and give these things a wash. Fortunately, I left a couple in there that are frozen. I'll have to clean them out later. This time of year, I really should be collecting eggs 3 times a day, because if I don't, they end up freezing and turning disgusting. Isn't that right, Toby? Yeah. All right, you buzzards, here's your breakfast. Now I know you guys are probably hoping for an update on the goose house, because it continues to be cold. They don't really mind it that much. You know, they can go in their old goose house if they wanted to, but they actually spend most of their time outside. So the good news is, I finished building the end wall. Actually, end walls on both sides. Look at this. So you can see it's come together pretty nicely. And wow, I gotta admit, it's super warm in here. I mean, it's not super warm, but it's definitely above freezing. Yeah, I put shavings down just to test it. I'm gonna need a whole bunch of bags of wood shavings here to really fill this place out. I gotta get my construction gear out of here as well. But here it is, this is it. I do have some ventilation holes in the sides here, which probably affects how warm it can actually get, but I don't want to seal it perfectly because then there's no way for like the ammonia from the manure to escape. I'm still at the point where I need to put in some finishing touches. So specifically, I have these clamps that I ordered that still haven't arrived that will help clip this edge of the plastic to this side of the hoop house to kind of close that part off. I also want to actually put rope across and like sort of weave it all up and down the sides of this thing. That rope will help it from whipping around too much and potentially tearing if we get like a big windy storm. You can see my back end wall as well. This isn't pretty. This is only a temporary 6-month, 7-month structure. So I just use scrap lumber to, you know, pin the plastic against the other lumber and get it sort of nice and tight. The other thing I've been doing is I put in a little fence. I actually got to use my timeless fence posts. And so I put this fence around to keep the geese from trying to eat the outside of the plastic, which they are prone to doing. And I even made like a little bit of a corral for myself. So as I'm having to drive the geese in here at night to get them inside their house, I can just drive them up against this fence and then push them on through and into the house. I'm still amazed that we were able to build the whole main structure here in the span of a weekend. After trying unsuccessfully for months trying to build it the other way. So sometimes it works that way. Now, before I go inside to clean the eggs and test out this egg scrubber, I did want to take a minute to talk to you about today's video sponsor, the Ridge Wallet. As you guys know, I talk about the Ridge Wallet all the time because I am such a fan and they're such a supportive sponsor of Goldshaw Farm. It's sleek, it's minimalist, it has a money clip, it holds, I don't know, I think I have about a dozen cards in here. I'm so happy I switched from my bulky wallet to this nice, very slick looking titanium coated wallet. Even Ginny Barncat here is impressed and thinks it looks super, super cool. What do you think, Ginny? You think it's RFID protected? That's because it is. That way people can't, like, you know, use one of those skimmers and figure out where your card codes are when you're walking through a crowded area. So you gotta be careful about that, Gin. If you guys wanna get your own Ridge wallet, use the link down below as well as my special promo code, and you're gonna get 15% off your order of the Ridge wallet. It's a super, super deal. It's perfect time of year to get one of these. I'm just gonna say it makes a pretty awesome gift here. So check it out. Thank you, Ridge Wallet. Do you listen to that purr? It just melts your heart. I can't be mad at you for breaking those eggs earlier, Ginny, because you climb on my shoulder and then purr. I don't know. It's probably bad cat discipline, but you know, I don't think there really is such a thing as cat discipline. Cats do what they want to do. Now I gotta go wash some eggs. Let's go, Jen. Okay, so this is the device. As you can see, it's made in the USA. Comes to us right from North Chittenden, Vermont, which is actually different than Chittenden County, Vermont. Let's see what's inside this thing, huh? The Little Egg Scrubber 2.0. That's clever little marketing that they got here. Oh, here's the device. So I think the eggs sit like in these little slots, and then this spins around and scrubs them. Comes with a stain remover sponge in case you need it. And it comes with this enzyme pre-soak. Water, yeast, sea salt, potassium sorbate, citric acid, trace minerals, lemon juice. Okay, so it's just basically an acidic substance that might get a little bubbly in the name of trying to get your eggs pre-soaked and cleaned. Pre-soak your eggs 10 minutes in warm water with our enzyme pre-soak. This helps remove stains and organic contaminants. Place the egg scrubber in the sink, turn on the water, about 20 degrees above room temperature, warm water, and then plug in that, turn it on, place the pre-soaked eggs in the 3 green pockets and let them tumble for 15 seconds. Remove egg, rinse and dry, replace with another pre-soaked. And so what I want to do is actually get this set up here in our sink. You know, one note about washing eggs, you know, usually we actually don't even wash the eggs that we eat here at home. This is a little wooden egg holder that my friend the Bearded Bard actually made. If you want to check out his Instagram, he does some awesome stuff. I'll leave a link down below. So we'll usually take the poopy eggs like this one, and we'll actually keep them in here versus washing them. Because when you wash your eggs, you've got to refrigerate your eggs. And you know, for us, refrigerator space is always kind of at a premium. And so we'd much rather let them be shelf stable. But if I'm like selling them to people or giving them to people, people always usually expect to have clean eggs, and so we tend to wash them then. So far, I'm actually pretty impressed with this. It looks like a very nice unit. Like I can see that the motor is encased so that it can get into the water. Okay, let's get this party started. Get some warm water going for the pre-soak. Now apparently I need to add this substance here. 5 gallons, 1 tablespoon of fluid. And so I'm using a lot less than 5 gallons. This should about do it. Okay, into the water. Now let's add our poopy eggs. You know, a good way to test to see if you have good eggs or bad eggs is to see if they float or not. If they float, it means that they're bad. If they don't, it means that they're good. Now, chicken eggs are actually much easier to keep clean. Like, I actually think I'm gonna get for my chickens next year one of those roll-away nesting boxes. But when it comes to ducks, ducks are always such dirty animals, and I have found it to be impossible to keep duck eggs clean. And so having something like this that can help get everything cleaned off and keep it nice and tidy, that to me is gonna be a big deal. Like I said, I'm kind of impressed with the construction. Like it feels very sturdy, very well built. I was worried this was gonna be like a cheap, chintzy gadget. We're just gonna let our eggs soak right here for about 10 minutes. And while that's happening, I'm gonna get this guy set up. Plug that in. Now let's just flick the on switch. Oh, there it goes. And we're back 10 minutes later. Woof. It's looking kind of gross in there, that's for sure. We're gonna set this right here. This will be where our cache of eggs is. Then I have this, which is like one of the handiest kitchen gadgets. It just sort of sits over the sink, and typically when I'm washing eggs, what I like to do is wash them in the sink, put them here, and then let them dry out. All right, let's do this. All right, let's take our first poopy egg that we have here. So the water's right over it. Plunk it in the green spot. All right, let's add another one. Add a third one with a chicken egg. And give it 15 seconds like it said. This one doesn't seem like these wood chips want to come off. Let's try it now. Alright, then so just give them a rinse. Add some more eggs. And as I'm looking at these eggs that I wash, they're looking pretty darn good actually. At first I was like, oh, it doesn't look like it's doing anything, but as I'm looking more closely at it, no, these are looking pretty good. This duck egg doesn't seem like it came out all that well. I'll have to do a little spot scrub on it. This one's perfect though, wow. All right, let's add some more. This one's a good test case because this one's filthy. I'm finding that actually some of these spots need a little tender love and care. We actually keep this sponge here just for egg cleaning. So if I can get in there and scrub it, that'll do the job. There we go. This one had that big poopy mark that I have to physically scrub off. All right, let's add a few more. One thing I'll say about how the scrubber works, I was worried that like the duck eggs would flop out and have problems, but it actually is designed really well so that they're not really going anywhere. So that's definitely on the plus side of it. All right, take these guys off. Our last 3 eggs. All right, and we're done. You know, overall, I actually think these look pretty darn good. We got, what was this, about a dozen eggs? Yeah, a dozen eggs in probably would have taken me about 1.5 minutes to watch all of them. And that in and of itself is a huge savings. Like it probably would usually take me about 5 or 6 minutes to wash all dozen by hand. To get them all this clean and pristine by just running them through that quickly and that easily, I think is nice. There's no like real cleanup or anything with it. Just drop it in the sink and you pull it right out and dry it off. When I think about the bucket method that I used to do, like that was such a pain in the neck to get going. I could easily see cranking out like 50 eggs in the peak of summer in about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, which I think is huge. So this actually might have me thinking more and more about getting back into selling eggs. It's admittedly, it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. I mean, these were some filthy duck eggs. The chicken eggs are absolutely pristine. Of course, now that I have washed them, I do have to chuck them in an egg carton and put them in the fridge because they will, oh no! Ah, yeah, I'm gonna have to clean that up. I'm such a klutz. I will admit this happens pretty regularly when I'm cleaning eggs. This is probably why Allison usually does this job. All right, so we're down to 11 eggs now. I know the chickens will lay more eggs later today. Ducks seem to always lay their eggs overnight. The chickens always seem to lay their eggs in the morning. Why did I think this was a dozen eggs? That's ridiculous. So I guess I would say that the Little Egg Scrubber 2.0 is pretty darn good. I really enjoyed using it. It was simple to use, easy to set up, easy to clean. It worked really well. It made your egg cleaning really efficient. So my overall rating, I'm gonna say is 4 out of 5 eggs, if that's a rating system. We don't usually do product reviews, but I don't know, this was kind of fun. And by the way, the guy who runs this place, I think his name is Chris, really nice dude, semi-retired guy, just here in Vermont. And so, you know, did want to shout him out too. And I'll leave a link down below if you want to get your own little egg scrubber. And heck, if you have a lot of backyard chicken eggs, this could be pretty useful. It's a little pricey. I think it was like, I don't know, about $270. But if I had like more than a dozen laying hens, I would actually say that the time that you save and energy you save, it might actually make a device like the Little Egg Scrubber worth it. So I hope you've enjoyed my adventure with the egg scrubber. If you're curious about how to build your own egg scrubber, I'll leave the link to that video over there. Where are you going, little barn cat? Oh, you want to go by the fire. It's nice and cozy. I know you.